You done f***ed it up. Season 7 is upon us, and Vikendi is back. The one thing I can say about Season 7 and the new patch that just came out on console is Vikendi is back, and it's awesome. I definitely enjoyed getting out on Vikendi again. It's been a long time since we've been able to play the map, and it really didn't feel that much different. The snow cover wasn't all that much different, and I just liked the way the map looked, and it ran perfectly fine. And if you're into positive videos, you can just go ahead and quit watching now, because that's about it. That's all I got. That's all the positivity that's going to be in this video. What should we talk about first? Should we talk about the bots? Or should we talk about Google Stadia? Or the fact that the patch completely erased all of our settings? I guess let's quickly go over the settings part. So if you weren't aware, the patch completely erased your settings if you're playing on console. I assume this is for both Xbox and PlayStation because a lot of players were complaining about it. And it really sucks because I didn't know what my settings were. I had it in a pretty comfortable area and I don't know exactly what I had selected. Those are supposed to be saved, and players shouldn't have to take pictures of their settings in case they just magically get erased by a patch. So to celebrate this mistake, I went ahead and made this little funny video. I'm probably the only one that laughed so hard at it, but I enjoyed making it. And now let's just get into the bots. Let's just go straight for it. The bots are terrible. And I know this is the first day, this is the first week, things are going to change, and like I said in my previous video, things are going to be adjusted as we go. And I fully expected that, but I didn't expect the bots to be just overrunning the lobbies for every single player. They mentioned in the patch notes that it was going to be based off of your skill level or the time you've played the game, because they wanted to give newer players a chance and then kind of build some confidence and work your way into the game. So I was expecting maybe 10 to 20 bots at the most in each match. And honestly, in North America and third person perspective, I didn't really expect that many bots because our lobbies fill within seconds. I thought maybe if we had some new players in our lobby, we'd have some bots in the lobby and it wouldn't be that big of a deal because there wouldn't be that many. But out of the 26 teams in my first match, only 11 of those teams were real players. And you could easily tell because my team had 14 kills and we got third place. Now getting third place isn't that different from what we normally get. We finish in top 5 quite a bit. But getting 14 kills is pretty much an outlier for our team. We do that at times, but we faced a ton of bots. And it's not only that there are way too many bots, they're just absolutely awful. You can tell right away when it's a bot, whether it's by the shooting pattern, whether it's by the way they move, or the way that they just randomly turn around on a dime and sprint backwards, or if they're just one-tapping, standing still in the middle of a field. So let me paint a scenario and we can go over what it was like before bots and what it's like now. I'm in a building looting, I hear some gunshots outside. Before, I would think, okay, there's people outside, we need to be prepared for them to come in. We need to think about where we're going to go. Do we want to group back up? Do we want to push these guys? If they knock somebody, let's push in third party. You know, all these decisions go through your head. The tension rises, your heartbeat rises, and that's what PUBG is really about. That's what makes it such a great game, is because all these moments that you can't really script and you can't predict, and the quick decisions that you have to make in order to survive. Now let's fast forward to what I played last night. I'm looting in a building, there's shots outside. One tap, one tap, one tap, or there's controlled bursts of an AK or an M4. Oh, that's a bot. First one to kill him wins. Like, that's what we did. We just ran at them, and then the first one to kill them, you know, gets that kill. There was no tension, there was no thinking, there's no strategy. You just go out there blindly in the middle of the field and just hunt down the bot because they have no chance. They're awful. And PUBG is going to fix this. They're going to dial down the bots. They're not going to be flooding the lobbies. But either way, why are bots in matches with regions that don't actually need them? I've talked at length lately about how I'm kind of burnt out on PUBG and, you know, it's just not as fun to play. I still really enjoy playing with my friends and, you know, it's one of the most fun games, obviously, that I've ever played. Playing with friends and getting wins, it's just the most fun I've had in a multiplayer game. But I am scared that my last impression of PUBG before I finally quit and throw in the towel is going to be this garbage where bots are just running wild and everything that made PUBG special is just out the window. Of course, once you get in the top 10, there's probably not very many bots unless you just have a match that's filled with them or if you're playing solos. But the game is not just about the top 10, it's about the journey that you get all the way until the chicken dinner, and that's what makes it special. You might have a battle when there's 80 people left and you barely win that battle and you scrape by. You clutch it out for your team and you revive your teammates, and then you go on to win the chicken dinner, and you know that the only way that was possible is by winning that first battle. And now, if this doesn't get fixed and reasonably soon, there's going to be a lot of people quitting the game because this is just not fun. Even if you say, I'd rather have a full lobby of bots just so I can get a lot of kills and just so I can get a win. It's not fun. There's no tension. The bots are terrible. There's absolutely no way you can actually die to a bot unless you just blindly go out of cover and try. They don't throw grenades. They don't drive. They can't lean. They can't jump. They can't vault. They can't do anything. So they're just standing there in the middle of a field, one tapping an M16, letting you know exactly where they are. They might not even have a helmet at that point. I don't know. It's just awful, and they need to fix it very fast. And by very fast, I mean like tomorrow. PUBG did put out a post saying that they are listening to player feedback and they're going to be changing this. They did not intend for everybody to have 80% bots in your matches. It's because of the way that we're ranked. Basically, when Season 7 started, our stats got erased and reset. And so everyone is a new player in PUBG's eyes, at least for this program, it seems. But here's the problem, like, why was this not tested? Why was this not on the test server for a month before it got to the live servers? This is a major change, and it could be a game-killing change if it's not implemented correctly. And I just knew in the back of my mind when I was talking about the patch, something's going to go terribly wrong. Whether it's the bots just overrunning everything, whether it's more desync and lag or crashing, something is going to go terribly wrong with this patch because there's so much being added to the game without any testing and data on the test servers. So they say they're going to gather data over the next day or two and then make a decision on what to do, but I would implore them to actually just roll back the bot change altogether. Maybe keep it in regions that can't get games. If you want to keep it in the Oceania region, or if you want to keep it on lobbies that have a really hard time finding matches, like first person perspective, that's okay. But if you're going to put bots in a lobby that has no problem filling up within 5 seconds, then I just don't know what you're doing with the game. Like, this is not a good idea. I was very skeptical to start with, but I decided I'm gonna give them a chance. I'm not gonna talk bad about it until I experience it for myself. But unfortunately, I just really don't have anything good to say at this point. We'll see if in the next week or so we get a hotfix that reverts some of these changes, or if their program puts less bots in our games as we play. But you are gonna have people quitting left and right because this is not Battle Royale. This is not what we came and what we signed up for. I can't wait until this goes on PC. Honestly, it's going to be a shitstorm and it's going to be just chaos on the internet. Once this hits PC, if this is not optimized by that time, I feel like we're kind of the guinea pigs for this one. Instead of doing it on the test server, they just threw it on the live server and we're just going to find out what happens and then we're going to get player feedback. You might burn more bridges than you're gaining at that point. And if you think you're really helping new players along by putting them in bot-filled lobbies, maybe make it an optional thing where you can say, I want bots in my lobbies. And then if you don't want them, you can select no and then just wait for games where you can queue up with real players like we were before. And I almost forgot to talk about Google Stadia. They threw that in there. I had no idea that that was coming either. Google Stadia has PUBG now, and Google Stadia can actually cross-platform play with Xbox One and PS4 if they use a controller. If they use keyboard and mouse, they're only going to be playing with Google Stadia. They're not even cross-play with PC. And at first I was thinking they're going to have a huge advantage because they can play the game at 60 frames and better fidelity. But then I remembered they're playing on Google Stadia and it's probably a crappy connection, so who knows. That'll just be something that time will tell if Google Stadia people have an advantage if they're playing on controller, or time will tell if there's even that many players doing it. We'll just have to wait and see. But either way, I just thought I'd throw up my quick thoughts. I know it's only been one day, and these are very small sample size thoughts and opinions, but that's all I have at the moment, and I think it's been a terrible experience so far. Like I said, Vikendi is back, and it's awesome. I really like what they did with the map. I don't think they removed too much snow. It just looks great. But bots, man, bots just ruin the game. And if they're there for much longer, my friend actually said, I'm not going to play until they take bots out of the game or they get this thing fixed. And I don't really blame them. I don't blame you if you're going to uninstall the game because there's just bots everywhere. This is not why we're playing the game, and it's not what we're looking for when we fire up PUBG. Make sure to like the video if you killed a bot yesterday and subscribe to stay up to date on everything that I publish. You can also follow me on Twitter at YTBoris15. Sorry for all the negativity, but like I said, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time, I'll see you later. You done f***ed it up.